I'm Micah Phillips, Executive Vice President with Nevada State Bank, and I'm joined today with Megan Comfort, the head of our Small Business Banking Division. Thanks for being here, Megan.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
So Megan, tell us about your involvement in the small business community.
Well, I've been in banking for over 20 years, and it's been almost exclusively all in small business. So I've been very fortunate to have a majority of my career really dedicated to helping small business owners. Not only that, I actually do also own 2 small businesses with my husband, so I understand the struggles that small businesses go through as well.
Megan, what should businesses be looking for to prevent technology from leading to losses?
Well, technology is kind of a double-edged sword. So it's great because it keeps you connected to your business. You're able to do really everything from your phone, right? Via email, correspond, and just make sure that your business runs smoothly no matter where you are. But with that means that it gives multiple access points for bad actors or people with malicious intent to have access to your information or to try to gain access to your information. One of those particular types of scams is called phishing or business email compromise. It's where a bad actor tries to act as somebody that's within your trusted network. They're trying to use emails to try to get either you or an employee to download malicious software so that they're able to conduct bad business on your behalf. So one way, I want to share a story with you really quick about that, just because it's so important. It happens all the time. There was a client that actually downloaded some malicious software without knowing. What they did was that bad actor then created a rule that rerouted all of his emails to that person so that they were able to change information before going to the end receiver. What happened was that customer was trying to send wire information to an office manager to relay that to a customer to make payment. The bad actor then rerouted that email, was able to alter the payment information, still send it to his office manager, who then passed it on to a client. That client made the payment, it didn't go to our customer, and now they were in a tough situation where they had to honor it because they were the ones that actually provided the bad wire information, not realizing that this rule was in place or that there was someone that was actually had malicious intent to gain access to their money.
Understood. So that's a great example of a business that experienced fraud. What are the most common types of fraud that you see impacting small business?
There's a lot of different fraud that kind of occurs within the small business realm. And the reason for that is because they're really a perfect target. It depends on how you operate your business. So I kind of look at it like scams are somewhat in season depending on how you do business. For example, the phishing example, if you only use email, if you don't get on the phone and verify things, then people are going to try to use email to try to gain access to your money or be able to reroute payments to themselves. There's also wire fraud. So if they know that you're dealing with a transaction that's going to require wire, they're going to wait for the perfect time to be able to try to insert themselves to change the wire instructions so that that money gets sent to them. The last piece is also still check fraud. If they have access to your routing number and account number, or even if you write a lot of checks and mail them, then they have access to be able to confiscate that mail and wash the checks to alter the payee name, or they're able to utilize your routing number and account number and then print their own checks and try to get them through the system to gain access to your money. So there's a lot of different frauds that could impact small businesses.
So how does a small business then protect itself from these types of scams or frauds?
I think the number one thing is education. It's really important to know and understand all of the scams that are out there. Technology is great, but it's changing rapidly. And with that means new opportunities for people to utilize that technology to your disadvantage, right? To gain access to your money, to be able to do things on your behalf that you don't know about. So it's probably the most important thing is just to educate yourself on it. One of those ways that you can do that is actually talking to your banker, because we're one of the first people that see all of the scams that impact customers, and we try to educate people as much as we possibly can. The second piece of that is don't just hang on to that education. Make sure that you share that with your employees. So many businesses have different employees that actually conduct business on their behalf. They're sending payments, they're talking to vendors and customers, and so it's very important to make sure that everyone within your business actually knows and understands the impact that that can have and the damage that it can do to a business if they don't pay attention to those things. I suggest sometimes putting processes in place with your employees, maybe some policies, or creating a subject matter expert, a designated employee that it's their responsibility to keep up to speed on these scams and relay that information to others, or that person can be the go-to person if someone else needs advisement or they get that sixth sense, right? Something's just not feeling right. The last piece of that is for business owners. Make sure that you just log into your account, just one time a month even. A lot of times what I see is that business owners trust one person in their company so much that they have all access to their business information and their banking information. And so they don't check it as much. It's very important that you just do one quick check frequently just to make sure that your business is being conducted in the way that you want and that the payments that are being paid are actually payments that you are expecting to come through and that everything is working the way that you want it to.
So it's obviously important for business owners to remain vigilant, to stay educated about what's happening. Are there tools that are available for business owners and leaders to help them minimize that risk or mitigate the risk?
Yes, absolutely. At Nevada State Bank, we have something called Positive Pay. Positive Pay is a really great program that allows you to incorporate that into your business practices and your daily operations. What that does is it can create somewhat of a streamlined process for you to be able to upload your payments into the banking system, and it tells the bank what payments you're expecting to come out of your account. To kind of bring it up a notch, there's also something called Payee Match. Payee Match is extremely important with Positive Pay because not only is it looking for the dollar amount of the payments that you actually want to come out of your account, it's also looking at the payee name because of the check washing scam that I told you about. So if for whatever reason you're still using checks and you're mailing those, you don't have to worry about that potentially getting stolen because if it's not a check that you wrote that matches the payee and the dollar amount, then you will get alerted. You'll get a notification that says, hey, there's something being presented trying to get paid on your account that you didn't tell us, customer, that you actually want to get paid. So please take a look at this, and then you get to make the decision in real time to avert fraud if you are going to be a victim of fraud. It's one of those things that you can't necessarily avoid fraud, you just have to be prepared to deal with it. And how do you do that, right? What are the best tools out there to be able to help you manage that as much as you possibly can as a business owner?
So thinking about all that a business owner has to keep track of, can you provide examples of how you as a banker work with business leaders to help them manage that risk?
Well, it's probably best that I share a quick story with you because I really kind of feel like this encapsulates everything that we do for small businesses. We had a business client several years back. They banked with a very large institution, one of the national ones. It's actually a second generation business, so had for 40 years. They were going through a transitory period in their business and they really needed some advisement or someone to really kind of communicate with and talk to help them figure out what were the options available to them or the best way to approach their particular situation. They went to their bank, they really weren't getting anywhere. So a friend of theirs actually told them about Nevada State Bank. Now, they were a little reluctant to go to Nevada State Bank, and the primary reason is because they kind of perceived it as being a smaller bank. They didn't really understand the difference. They were like, look, I'm with a bank, I'm with one of the biggest banks that provides me with everything that I need. But what I love about that story is they're now a client, have been for about 5 years, and every year that I speak to them, they tell me how much we made a difference with their business. Not only with the way that we kind of approached helping them with their banking and some of the things that they were working through, but also achieving their goals and achieving some milestones and preventing them from situations like fraud and educating them about things that are out there. So I love hearing that they said, you know what, you actually made a difference in my business. You weren't just a bank where I just used products and services. You actually helped me become a better business and be able to achieve things that I've wanted for a really long time. So it's that type of story that makes me realize we're not just doing the right thing for our clients, we're actually making a difference.
Megan, that really underscores the importance of relationship. If there are business owners or leaders that want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way to get a hold of me would probably be through email or with my contact information, which is listed below, so please contact me. Really, what I want to make sure that everybody knows is we're not your typical bankers. Myself and my team, we're available to businesses when they need us. So it's not just that Monday through Friday 9 to 5 type of gig. We make sure that we're available if you have questions at night or on the weekend. When something's important to you, it's important to us. And so it's very important for me to share that.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us today,
Yeah.
Megan.
Thank you.